Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Crystal Barrett's May I Scraplift You, where we'll be scrapping different people. She does have a list, and mine was on her list. This is the last one, the next one after my last one that I scrap lifted. So it's Shannon Keith, Creative Chaos in Tennessee. It is not actually the one due for today, but this is the one I had started. And I'm scrapping this photo of my grandson, and I'm going to be using cardstock, but no other collection or anything. I have a few dies to use. That Sizzix bubble one, I had a very hard time finding a few years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's gone. Two different ones for the title, and I used a circle cutter for that. And then I turned around and used my stylus and the uh, Martha Stewart scoreboard and made lines in that just to give it some texture. I'm showing which of the cutting pieces that I used there, and I cut a small ring to go on this in the red, and so I'm going to kind of stretch it to fit in shape. It just does not want to lie down straight on there, so I do cut a little bit of this out, but I had to do a little bit of stretching, but it worked. I did get it all stretched out where it would go on there. And apparently I didn't get enough glue right then, but like I said, eventually it works and I get it on there. And uh, on her layout, she has like 3 rings. It's a cut file. I don't have a cut file to use, so I decided to go with the 1 ring rather than to use a lot more paper. and I could have made, I guess, 2 more out of that, but they'd all been the same size, so I decided just to go with the 1 ring. I could have had them moved away from each other a little bit, and that would have helped. She has stars. I'm going to have bubbles, and so that's what I'm doing here. I used my punches. I got all the punches piled over there to the right-hand side so that you can see which ones that I used. And I'm using tumbled glass. And the two distress inks that I'm using are distress inks. They are not oxides. I considered oxides, but I decided to go ahead and use these. I really like the colors on these, and I've had them for a long time. I start out with the largest circle, and I think it's 1.75 inches, and then I go down to 1.5 inches, then 1 inch, and 3/4 inch. I do have some smaller pieces punched out because y'all do see some smaller punches there, and they are 1/2 and 1/3 inch, but they're going to be punched out as solids. I'm not going to use them like a template or a stencil, whichever one you want to call it. But it looks like Shannon used a stencil on hers, and I'm taking my bubbles out farther than she is taking her stars. And she does have stars on her circle, so I will have bubbles on my circle too. Not these same ones, these are just my background ones, but I am going to have bubbles there. Now, the first several dozen times, or maybe 100, that I inked like this and made bubbles, I just used the flat sponge that we had back then. I didn't have a brush and I didn't have a rounded one. And it works pretty good. So if you don't have a brush, it does work pretty good. However, I do like the brushes. They seem to go just a little bit faster. And I am trying to stick to the outside so the inside will be lighter and look like the light's hitting them. I said that it seems to go faster, but it could be maybe I'm just going faster. Maybe I got faster with age. Who knows? Um, oh, here I'm back with my circle here again, and I'm gonna remember something, so it's not gonna stay there long. See how quick I was? I pulled it right back off because I wanted to put some splatters on here. So I'm using I'm pretty sure this is a smallest fan brush because I thought, well, I want some small speckles on top of these bubbles. So yeah, I'm using the smallest one, and the fan brushes make smaller speckles. And I think it's because the bristles are so spread out. But yeah, I'm going to splatter some of them around the bubbles. Now, y'all may have noticed a bruise on my hand. You definitely be blind not to notice it. But anyway, it's from an IV and it has taken forever to look any better. And I had this, and this is like, the last day thereabouts of this whole May I Scrap Lift You. And I thought it was only fair to Shannon that I go ahead and make the video and upload it. And so, yeah, I am sorry about the bruise. And if it's distracting, I'm especially sorry for it. Well, there is one more day of this hop, and that's Moira's day. And I was hoping to get a layout done for her because, I've been friends with her since like 2011 here on YouTube. So, yeah, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I get one done for her. I used my Lavinia bubble stamp and made some tiny bubbles on there with the peacock feathers. And now I'm using my Sizzix die. And like I said, I had a hard time finding it when I found it. So it's probably gone, but you never know if you go hunting for the bubbles die. I used the uh, Echo Park Olivia uh, cursive letters there, and I did it in the dark blue and then in the red, and then the top one is the memory. It's been so long since I did a video. I can't remember memory, whatever. Y'all seen it 100 times, but yeah, those little dies there is the rest of the title. And I do have my picture up on foam tape, so I'm going to cut these bubbles here in half and put some on, well, not both sides because one's kind of going to be at the bottom, but I am going to separate it so it'll go just a little bit farther. Shannon's picture is, I think, bigger than mine. Well, maybe not. It may or may not be. Hers looks like maybe it's a 4x4, maybe, and mine's 3x4. So I decided to go ahead and put it up in that corner a little bit and angle it just a tiny bit too. And then I'm going to use this die has like that big piece, and then it has two smaller pieces. One is just one little circle and one has three circles. So I'm just going to scatter a few of them on there. And I do lose a couple so they don't ever make it on the layout. I'm not sure what happened to them. I did pick up my layout and everything look all over, but yeah, they're small and I do have a fan going, so that might be part of it. But yeah, they just disappeared. And I'm just using liquid glue to put them on there. And you may notice over in that tray, which is kind of almost out of sight, um, some solid colored ones, the dark blue and the lighter blue. And then that one that's called a snowflake, but y'all know my opinion on that. It does not look like one, but I do like it. So it's going to go here and there on the layout. And I did buy it thinking I'd never use it as a snowflake. But while I am doing that, I want to mention that down there below, you will find the link for the master list, the playlist that Crystal created so we could all put our videos in there together. And I looked just before I started this video and there was like 250 on there. So just 2 clicks away, one here and one when you get there to play all, and you can watch 250 videos if you would like. But yeah, I had so much fun creating this layout, and I wish I could have participated in more of these scrap lifts for the month, but I was pretty glad I got close to half done. So yeah, uh, and I do love Shannon's layout up there, and I think she loves, I have certain ones that are my favorites. Um, and I'll do them over and over again. I think she likes that one pretty good because I had a hard time picking which one I wanted to use with the circle. So yeah, I think that's one of her favorites too. Let's see, where am I at? I think I'm getting close to being done, only because I goofed. Yeah, y'all will notice if you look in the close-ups, not maybe so much the whole layout, there is highlighting there. And yeah, I didn't have the camera on. Well, it was on. It just wasn't on record. And then I heard it click and it went off, and I was halfway done with them. So I just went ahead and finished the highlighting. And I put it all where the light looked like it's coming from the left onto the letters and the bubbles. The solid bubbles I put highlighting on also. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And I had so much fun making it and so much fun on this hop. And like I said, I hope I can get one done for more tomorrow. But if I can't, I'll try to get it in some other time. But thank y'all for joining me while I made my layout today. And be sure to check out that master playlist down there below. Have a happy, scrappy week. Bye.